What's up guys, today's TV show review will be the 2012 Nicktoon, and that one is, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, this show is a badass Nicktoon that premiered in 2012. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was originally aired on Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, and currently streaming on Netflix and Paramount+. Ninjutsu Master Hamato Yoshi, Splinter, is carrying his 4 pet turtles through the streets of Manhattan when he encounters members of an alien race called the Krang. During an altercation with these aliens, Yoshi and the turtles are exposed to the Krang's chemical, called mutagen, which causes organic beings to undergo major physical transformations. Yoshi takes on characteristics of a brown rat and the turtles take on human characteristics. Yoshi retreats to the New York City sewers where he raises the 4 turtles as his sons and imparts to them his knowledge of ninjutsu. Now teenagers, the turtles, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello and Michelangelo, venture to the surface for the first time and learn that the Krang are using the mutagen as part of their plan to take over New York City. They befriend the teenage April O'Neil after she and her psychologist father Kirby are abducted by the Krang. Donatello, who has developed a crush on April, is able to rescue her. While Kirby remains a prisoner of the Krang, April becomes an ally of the Turtles, who try to help her locate her father. April is also trained by Splinter to be a kunoichi, a female ninja. After learning of Splinter's and the Turtles' presence in New York, Splinter's adoptive brother and longtime enemy the Shredder travels there from Japan and orders his birth clan, the Foot, to track down Splinter and his sons, and put an end to their clan. Learning about the Krang's presence through his adopted daughter Kirai, Shredder enters an alliance with the aliens to destroy their mutual enemies in the Hamato clan. The Turtles later discover that the Krang came to Earth from Dimension X and built their headquarters with a company called TCRI and are plotting to use the mutagen and a set of Krang-like powers that April was born with to convert Earth into a planet suitable for their race. After the Turtles rescue Kirby, the Krang invade New York, but the Turtles and April emerge triumphant when they send the Technodrome, the Krang leader Krang Prime's ship, crashing into the sea. Meanwhile, Splinter battles Shredder and learns that Kirai is his own daughter, Hamato Miwa, who was kidnapped by Shredder and who believes that Splinter killed her mother. The season ends with the Turtles celebrating their victory over the Krang as Splinter hides the secret of Miwa from them. The group takes refuge at the O'Neil family's summer home in Northampton in order to recuperate from their loss at the hands of the Krang and the Foot clan. Leonardo takes an extended amount of time to recover, but guided by an apparition of Splinter, is able to overcome his physical and mental wounds. They eventually return to New York City with the goal of finding Splinter, Kirai, Kirby, and their other missing allies and liberate the city from the Krang. They are successful in finding Splinter and set up a temporary base in the abandoned Antonio's Pizza, and Donatello begins work on new samples of retro mutagen as the search for Kirby and Kirai continues. Meanwhile, Shredder sends his new minions Bebop and Rocksteady to find Kirai. The duo succeed, and Shredder promises to cure her. The Turtles run into a new team, the Mighty Mutanimals, with they manage to banish the Krang back to Dimension X and free New York. The effect of the invasion eventually earns Shredder cemented control of the city's criminal underworld for his efforts to create a mind control serum meant for the Turtles, Mutanimals and Kirai. The Turtles are later offered by future time sorceress Rennet to time travel to the past, where they meet up with a younger Hamato Yoshi and Oroku Saki, as well as Yoshi's late wife and Kirai's mother, Tang Shen. During the battle between Yoshi and Saki inside the burning Hamato clan dojo, Shen is accidentally killed by Saki, who meant to kill Yoshi instead. Saki leaves the dojo after his hair burns off from the fire and kidnaps Yoshi and Shen's baby daughter Miwa, vowing to raise her as Kirai and leaving Yoshi to die. After his escape, the Turtles save Yoshi, as they were always destined to, before traveling back to the present with Rennet. When the Krang return to Earth, the Turtles discover that the Krang have another enemy from Dimension X in the form of the Triceratodon Empire. Despite their best efforts and Shredder violating the Foot Clan's temporary truce with the Turtles by stabbing Splinter during the fight, the ruthless Triceratons activate the Heart of Darkness, a black hole-creating machine which annihilates both the Krang, the Earth, and everyone on it. But just as it comes to the worst for the Turtles, April, and Casey. They are rescued by a friendly robot by the name of Professor Honeycutt, also known as the Fugitoid, who uses his spacecraft to take the turtles, April and Casey to a journey into space. After the turtles, April, and Casey are saved from the destruction of Earth, the Fugitoid uses his spacecraft the Olixes to travel 6 months back in time in order for him and the turtles to prevent the Triceraton Empire led by Emperor Zanmaran from again assembling the 3 components of the Heart of Darkness that are scattered throughout the universe before everything on Earth is lost. Besides fighting the Triceratons, the turtles also face new enemies in outer space like Lord Vringath Dreg of the planet Sectoid and the bounty hunter Armageddon, and even have an adventure with their interdimensional 1987 counterparts and their enemy Krang, who is an exiled relative of Krang Subprime. This is not canon to the 1987 series, though. Despite the efforts of the turtles, the Triceratons are still able to collect all 3 pieces of the black hole generator, only for the turtles to return to Earth and join forces with their past selves to warn Splinter before he is killed by the Shredder, stop the detonator of the Heart of Darkness, and defeat the Triceratons. The Fugitoid destroys the black hole generator near the Triceraton space fleet, causing to explode, presumably killing the Triceratons. In the aftermath of the fight against the Triceratons, the past versions of the turtles, April, and Casey leave Earth with the past Fugitoid and the Olixes while the present Fugitoid's head reactivates in Earth's orbit. Weeks later, following the Triceraton invasion being thwarted and the Foot Clan's disappearance, April is promoted to Kunoichi at the time when the witch Shinigami arrives and is revealed that she is Kairai's friend as they plot to rebuild the Hamato clan and dispose of Shredder, who is still recuperating from his last fight with Splinter. While Kairai and Shinigami got some ninjas on their side, the Foot Clan strengthens the Footbot army by creating the Elite Footbots. Furthermore, some other crime organizations have been plotting to take over the Foot Clan's territory and a crystal shard of unimaginable power which April received from the alien Eons during their space adventure is beginning to exert a baleful influence on her. Using a special mutagen formula made by Stockmanfly, Oroku Saki recuperates and becomes Super Shredder in order to take back control of the Foot Clan. Once a stable formula is made, Super Shredder attacks the turtles, the mighty mutanimals, Kairai, and Shinigami, which ends with Splinter falling in battle against Super Shredder and is buried at the O'Neill family's summer home in Northampton. This leads up to the final battle at Super Shredder's hidden mansion where Leonardo manages to slay Super Shredder and throw his mutated Kurokabuto to the other turtles in victory. Following the death of the Super Shredder, Tiger Claw has led the unspecified Foot cultists into obtaining the Scroll of the Dema Dragon and a special control amulet called the Seal of the Ancients that would enable him to summon the Dema Dragon Cavoxes. When Cavoxes is summoned from the Netherworld, Tiger Claw plans to use Cavox's wish-granting abilities to revive the Shredder. Upon demonstrating the revival ability on Razor, who fell in an underwater battle against Leatherhead, Cavoxes states that he will need the Kurokabuto that contains Shredder's mental energies. Upon Razor and Tiger Claw claiming the Kurokabuto after Cavoxes drained the soul out of Shredder's former right-hand man Hattori Tatsu, Cavoxes states that they will need the Shredder's heart for the revival to occur. The Foot Clan obtains the Shredder's heart that was in the possession of Don Vizioso. Upon Shredder's heart being placed on his corpse, Cavoxes begins to work on reviving Shredder as the zombie Shredder. This goes against what Tiger Claw eventually planned when Undead Shredder destroys the Seal of the Ancients, which enables Cavoxes to raise the spirits of the Netherworld in order to rule both worlds. While Splinter's ghost helps those fighting on the surface, Michelangelo managed to use gum to stick the Seal of the Ancients back together, enabling him to have Cavoxes undo his damages and open the portal to the Netherworld as the zombie Shredder drags Cavoxes back to the Netherworld. Afterwards, the turtles face different challenges like the return of Lord Dreg when he collaborates with Neuralizer, being transported to Miyamoto Uzagi's reality where they help to protect the pug Kintaro from the evil Grey Wolf, an adventure featuring an alternate future ruled by mutant animals, and another adventure involving the return of Savanti Romero where he collaborates with Count Dracula to make Earth more habitable for monsters. The turtles later reunite with their 1987 counterparts when they face the return of Bebop and Rocksteady, who are recruited by the Shredder and the Krang's counterparts. They plan to conquer the Earths of both the 1987 and 2012 realities with a fully powered Technodrome after their Bebop and Rocksteady were accidentally left behind, while the Turtles and their allies fight off a horde of foot soldiers from the 1987 and 1996 series reality and the 2012 Rock Soldiers led by Trigon Granitor. Bebop and Rocksteady discover Shredder and Krang's treacherous scheme to destroy the Earth and choose to become heroes in order to save the planet. This show didn't last until it got cancelled in 2017. So, what is my final verdict on this 2012 Nicktoon? I give this show a 10 out of 10. It's an awesome sauce on pizza for the modern Nickelodeon, and it's also a masterpiece of the modern Nickelodeon alongside The Loud House, The Casagrandes, Ollie's Pack, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Harvey Beaks, Bunsen is a Beast, Tough Puppy, and Bunsen is a Beast.